Welcome to Lake Lannis in Romania, and my first time in Romania. The lake itself is 44 acres and got a lot of big fish in it, but you get some really good facilities when you come here. So let's take a look and see who lives in a house like this. So this is my lodge, which you get with every swim. And normally I'll put my slippers on when coming in here, but if you look, you get 2 beds. So it will suit 2 anglers. I'm going to be sleeping here this week. Super comfortable. You've got a fridge, an air conditioning unit, it will pump out heat as well. Lights, it's really super comfortable. And yeah, you can't hear the outside world in here, it's beautiful. But if you come over to the other side of the swim, then you've got an area for baiting up, keeping your stuff dry, or if you don't want to be sitting in the lodge and it's raining, you can sit out here where you get benches. I've stored all my bait on here. So that is it. And then you've got your weighing station. Now here at Lannis, they're a little bit strict with the fish, especially the bigger fish. They like them to stay in the water. So if you come over here, you've got a weighing station. And when you catch the fish, you basically put them into your retainer, slide them around to the side here. And this grating is also under the water, so it's super stable. And you simply slide this up, kick it in, it stops there, then you lift the fish up, stick it on there, weigh your fish, take it off, kick that in and drop it down. And what they like to do is come round and scan the fish at Lannis. Every single carp over 25 kilos has been scanned, so they re-scan them so they can check their growth rates throughout the year. And it is very well controlled and a nice place to come on a relaxing week with a friend.
It's a big old water, isn't it?
Was it? Did you get one last year?
Wrong people.
I'm here with What do you think, mates?
Well, yeah, it's actually bigger than the fall. The islands are a lot bigger than the fall. They were going to be. I imagined it to be a smaller lake, but it's quite man-made, but holds some massive fish, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of big fish in here.
Definitely seems layout, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it'll grow on us as the week goes on.
It looks nicer than it did on the pictures, though.
Yeah, on the pitch, the pictures don't do it justice. Well run. I can tell he's run really well.
He's put a lot of effort in, hasn't he?
Yeah, a lot of work's gone into it. He was telling me that he's, in the last 6 months, he's had 3 of his dogs eaten by wolves.
Has he, yeah?
We've got the choice of 13, 12, and then 11 and 10, so we're just going to have a little look. I'm not sure we want to be stuck in a corner. That's why I'm thinking 12 and 13 could be better. So we'll see what it looks like when we get down here. If a grebe comes up, it might be a grebe, but they're saying definitely rolled there.
You get right tight and he's mad.
Did they?
Teflinka, okay, welcome. In Romanian, noroc, sănătate.
Noroc,
Sănătate. Come, take a shot.
Oh. It's actually not that bad.
Well, you're not eating off the breakfast.
Oh, that's yours.
Right, we're still setting up, but me and Paul were stood here and a fish just stuck its head out, so I already had a solid bag tied from when I was fishing in England, so I'm going to waste no time. I'm going to put one on its head, because you never know, while we're setting up you might get a bite, but let's not waste any time. Leave that out there while I'm setting up. Never know. It's always good to get off the mark. Have a rest. The first carp fell to rotate a rig, so no doubt we'll be putting that on a few rods now. And this carp is very aggy. The water is freezing and my hands are warm, so she's not behaving very well, but we'll have a quick look at her. First ever Romanian carp, 43 pounds. And they go to nearly twice the size in here. Thanks, darling. Happy with that, Si? Right, so we've had our first fish and it fell to the uni lead clip, and I've been using one of our new booms, which I've tested loads in the UK. They're really good. And on there I've got a little bit of putty down to a rotator rig, and on there I've got a size 4 medium curve and a small yellow boilie, because I was told they get a lot of corn in here. So I'm sort of imitating the natural colour that they're seeing all the time when they're fed. A few maggots on top. So I'm really fishing very UK style. The only difference, a very heavy lead, 6 ounces, and we're dropping out in the bait boat, literally where we're seeing the fish. So at the moment, we're not heavily baiting. The water's still really cold. So it's small pockets of bait on the rotator rig, bang on their heads. So while I've been here, the bait I decided to bring was the ISO fish. They do feed the fish pellet here, and you can buy pellet on site. But because they feed them pellet, the ISO fish is a very fishy bait, so I thought, why not bring that, because it'll match with the feeding them. I've also got some tiger nuts. I've already put that in the bucket. Quite a lot of hemp. I like to add a little bit of like hemp oil and some of the smart liquids or stick liquids over the top of the bait, so it's sending a smell up in the air. And I did stop at the local supermarket on the way in and just grab a few tins of sweet corn to give the whole mix a little bit of colour. So here's my mix. You can see there, it's a nice mix, and I've been putting that out. And we're only a few days in, but that's already started working. So the fish here, they're quite hungry. There's a good head of fish in here. I wouldn't like to say how many, but they go up to about mid-80s. So no doubt in the next few years, you're going to see this lake doing some absolute monsters. Not that 80 ain't a monster, but I'm talking bigger than that.
the tunes on, Dave?
Yeah.
Fish.
That was in 3.2 metres. Deepest one.
Right. Seems to be left hand side though.
Fish all over.
Just a little explanation of what happened there, Dave.
Okay, so we just got the rods back out, and like I said, I've put all three now on Ronnie's. Little yellow pop-ups and maggots on. Paul's done the same. We've got the rods out. They've probably only been out about less than an hour, and one's gone. And the lake's been seeing tons of maggots, so we've been putting pellet, hemp, corn, and a few ISO fish boilies in. And I picked ISO fish because they feed them on pellet in the summer. They relate to that fishy smell as a food source, so I think this could be the way. We're only on day one, we're on 2 fish now, so if we can do this every day, by the end of the week, I think we could end up a good week, because it's still quite bloody cold, the water's freezing. Need to upset it. Where they're not fighting so hard, they're like got loads of energy. There you go, the second fish, £40 and 8 ounces. Again, on the rotator rig with a little yellow pop-up, few maggots on the top. We've definitely found a method of what's catching them. Not much bait, just a little drop in the 750 Hunter, and yeah, that is key at the moment. Not too much bait. The water's still very cold, so it's wintry conditions, and it's working. Almost UK sort of tactics, but going to get this one back. We've moved all the rods at that range now, so hopefully there'll be more to come, because in here this is an average fish, £40, but not in England. I still love catching them. Oh, just head-butted that grill.
Like a pirate. Arr, that it be, says I.
There will definitely be gold in them fair highlands.
I'm driving in the car. I'm driving. I'm driving.
it literally stains it. That's good. That makes a normal tiger nut a super tiger nut. A bit like the same as the others yesterday, but I'm hoping it's 50 pounds. What's that? Yes. It's a good fish out of the pool. Better one. That's what we travelled all the way to Romania for. Well, we've had a little flurry of fish this morning, and this was the biggest of three, 59 pounds and 10 ounces, and my first Romanian 50. And what an absolute clunker of a fish. The carp in Lannis are absolutely beautiful. Obviously she's quite lively. The water's still really cold, to be fair. And yeah, we're 2 days in, and there's fish in here that are 30 pound bigger, so really looking forward to the rest of the week. Let's have a look at her. There, calm down again. And then I'll go for a lift sire, right? What a lovely carp. Good, you're gonna let it go, yeah? Ready, Si? Thank you very much. Get in. Okay, so the rods I'm using here today are a Free Spirit 13 foot, 3 3/4 pound. And I've got my Shimano reels because they've got nice deep spools on. I've got 18 pound fluorocast on them, Delkin buzzers, and the reason I brought rods that long and powerful is the islands, you can use a bait boat. You can go out in a rowing boat and bait up and then use your bait boat to drop out the spots. They're about 35 to 40 wraps, so they're quite a long way out. So using a bait boat makes life a lot easier, and using a long powerful rod like that allows me to get the line up quicker and control the fish. You can use 4 rods here. I've got a little sneak rod down the side there that has done me a couple of fish, so it was worth bringing. But yeah, that's the tackle I'm using, nice and strong. When you're coming out to Europe, you don't really want to upsize or downsize too much. I'm still using size 4 hooks, 18 pound line, 35 pound hook links, and booms on Ronnies. So it's all nice, strong tackle, because some of these fish will literally pull your arms off. Now you will notice at Lannis that there's islands right the way down the centre of the lake, and at one time I think it was one island, but what they decided to do was dig them through. So when you get a swim, rather than arguing about whose water's who, you get your own island and half of the next. But it gives you absolutely loads of water. A lot of the fish I've caught this week have only been halfway across. So you ain't necessarily got to fish to the island, but it gives you an area that no one can interfere with? But it gives you an area that no one can interfere with and leaves you your own personal bit of water. Everything here is about being super comfortable. So if you are interested in coming, you haven't got to do the 2.5 day drive I did to get here. I'm out here with Ridge Monkey and we're doing some things other than fishing, but I've come out here and we're going to get some fishing in while we're here. But it's a 2.5 day drive. If you book with Carp Circle, you can actually fly, and that includes all your transfers, getting you to the lake. You can hire the rods. All you bring is your reels, your alarms and your tackle box. Everything else you can get at the lake and have the best stay that you can hopefully have.
About £34. It is. You're just gutted because you've had a £12. Well, after a slow start to the day, Paul's had a little one. I've just had this 30. I ain't going to mess around. I'm going to get him straight back because we've put quite a bit of bait in, hoping that it kicks him off. So, fingers crossed, this is the start of things to come. He's an ugly fish, isn't he? Go on. Go and get me your big ugly fucking dad. I'll find some fucking facts on coffee. What's that? I hate tea. I've never started drinking tea.
This could be the fish.
Okay, so let's talk about rigs a little bit. This week being very early spring, and in fact the start of the week was like winter. I started off on the Ronnie rig with the boom, and I've been putting little bright hook baits on that. Typical springtime fishing tactics, very little amounts of bait, a bit of sweet corn pellet or the bait mix that I showed you. So that's a very simple rig. And on a bottom bait, I've used the multi-rig, which I like when I'm abroad because it means changing the size of the hook is very easy. On there I've got a size 4 medium curve, 35 pound Camo X. That's a very strong setup, and again you can change that hook with every fish to keep them super sharp. And that's the rig. So I basically haven't gone too mad. We've come out here on a bit of a whim, and yeah, hopefully this week is going to go really well. So on each bank there's a shower block, and there is toilets about every 100 yards along each bank, which means you don't have to be weeing in bushes and things like that, because they're super strict on that here. Anyone caught weeing in the bushes or around the swims will have their proverbial eggs cut off.
Back just over a week later, and hopefully.
A lot of fishing is pressing repeat buttons, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's what you're repeating the look of.
Yes.
Right, we're just going out to drop a bit of bait on some areas, so we've been fishing really quite lightly, and the maggots are definitely getting eaten by the rudd now. The rudd have become really active, so I think it's time to put some bigger food items in. So what I'm going to go and do about 8 kilo on each of mine and Paul's spots. Just spread it up and down the island, see if we can't get the fish feeding a bit more on beds of bait and get a few more bites, because the lake's been really quite slow. It's probably been about 10 or 11 fish out so far to about 16 anglers. So we know the fish are here, it's just getting them to switch on. The water's still pretty cold, but they're definitely going to be up for it very soon. That is my island, that one, and I could fish the hump on it, but I probably should give it a go for a night, but it crosses the spot. I've been getting the bites. Nice spread of bait. Going out to the middle, so that way any fish moving through will find this wall of bait. And again, the best thing with a boat is as slow as it can. If you do everything slow, no mistake will be a fast mistake. And you can just, you know, do something about it. If you're steaming along in the boat and you try to correct something, it's not going to work. So nice and steady is the best way to use a boat. Eee! You laughed right off I fell in, wouldn't you? Kids, I don't recommend standing up in a boat just to make the cameraman laugh. So loads of people are using different types of bait boats on here this week. The lake is quite busy. I like the Hunter 750. It's nice and easy to move around, and when you can go out in a big boat, bait up, and you just want to be topping it up, the Hunter 750 is absolutely perfect, and that's what I've been doing with this week. And if, like me, you love a bit of nature, then you're going to love the surrounding area on this lake. I've seen red deer, roe deer, we've seen small deers, we've seen storks, lapwings, the whole area of surrounding wildlife. So if you're a bit of a bird spotter like me, you'll really love it here. You know what this reminds me of? Teletubbies, Teletubbies. Is it, sir? Is he having me on? You got me in a winder.
I'm not over here.
Well, there's been a few fish and they've definitely been stacked up on my left. And I think because the water's still very cold, they're still in that very winter mode. So there's been a pocket of fish there for like 3 days now. And I managed to catch a couple each day. The average size has been around £35. And yeah, we're hoping a big one's going to slip up soon because it's definitely on the cards. Okay, so when we arrived at the lake, initial thoughts, it was a lot bigger than I anticipated it to be. At 44 acres, it's a fair chunk of water. Anyway, we had a bit of a walk round, got settled into our swims that we'd been given, and initially didn't see anything. And the one thing I was worried about is we're here in March and it was still quite cold. And we got set up, made ourselves comfortable, didn't really see anything that first day. Then the rain came in and it poured with rain, and when you're in them lodges, it's different to a bivvy. You ain't hearing the outside noise. So around midnight, the guy in the next swim sent me a text and said, have you heard these fish? And I've come out and there was actually fish all over my left hand side. I could hear them. I did try a zig thinking they might be in the upper layers, but it wasn't till about, I think, 7:30, 8 o'clock the next morning that I received my first bite, which was nice. It was a 43-pound common, so it's nice to get off the mark with like you know, a decent fish. A couple of hours later, the rod has gone again in the same spot, 19 wraps, sort of in a little silt gully, and this time a 40-pound 8 common. So the average size of the fish seemed really good. Again, the weather moved in. Definitely, if you're coming out here, I wouldn't advise getting here in March. I'll go more for, you know, April, May time when things have really warmed up. The fish have been very wintry and localised this session, which I find they do in the winter. But luckily for me, they were on my left-hand side. Yeah, so the next day I had another couple of 30-pounders, I believe. And one went off to the stock pond because anything under 14 kilo here goes over to the stock pond to be grown to a bigger fish and then reintroduced to the lake. And I hooked a fish. It was around midday, and straight away I could tell it was a much better fish. It held water. All the other fish had just given me slow drop backs, but this fish took line immediately off the reel. And after a really good scrap, I landed a big common, and we ended up weighing at 59 pounds and 10 ounces. So like a really good fish. And when I came to Romania, the only thing I wanted really was a 50 from a different country that I've never been to before. So that was sort of that ticked off my wanted list. And yeah, I've carried on getting sort of 2 bites every day that we're here, which has been good really, because the lake, to be honest, has been quite slow. Like I'm saying, if you're going to come out, make it a little bit later in the year, definitely mid to late April, May time, and I think the fish will be up and moving. We're now 3 days in, and it has warmed up increasingly every day, and the fish are definitely more on the move and jumping, but they're still on the left hand side, so some of the other swims ain't getting as many bites. I think there's been a couple of 50-pounders out up the other end and a few 40-pounders around the lake, but I think you're only seeing a quarter of what this lake's capable of producing. I imagine when you come here in May, it'll be absolute carnage with big fish, and it does give me them Euro Aqua vibes without the extortionate bill for bait.
Well, it's in my hand here.
You're now telepathic.
Yes. I'll do you guys first, go on. Dave, was that nice?
I know degrees, 52. Guys from here, they are Slovakian. And this is traditional from Slav.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Wow.
When I think of Romania in terms of carp fishing, I think back to when Steve Briggs and Simon Crowe were coming out here fishing Lake Rudata, and I was reading all about it, and that lake did a world record of 72 pound. And the crazy thing is there's probably multiple fish in this lake that size, and I think through people like Carp Circle you're going to see Romania come back on the map, because the average guy that gets a week off work can't be doing 2.5 days drive there, 2.5 days back when he's only got a week off. And the great thing about this is you can fly out here and it makes it available to everyone. So if you want something a little bit different, look no further than this.